Hello, everybody. It's good to be back here again. Today, we want to talk about a very significant matter on one of our church's situation, or should I say scandal, that has been going on in Winners Chapel. The Papa, Pastor Bishop Oyedepo. And with me today, I'm not alone, obviously. With me today, I have our pleasure coach, Tiwa says. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
So, yes, there has been some speculations that Pastor Oyedepo and one of his, subordinates, allegedly. So, this subordinate's name is Abioye. He has been in charge of, the Nigerian department of the Winners Chapel, while Pastor Abioye has been focusing on his son being the, successor of the whole church. So, this is what I have to say about this now. Pastor Abioye, which is the subordinate of Papa himself, his retirement came as a shock. Are they trying to tell us that he didn't know he was going to retire at any point in time? Or why was he shocked?
Why was
Pastor Abioye shocked? Because he like they said, it came as a shock to him.
To Pastor Abioye?
Yes.
So he was retired.
Yes. He didn't retire at his own will.
Yeah, exactly.
Papa retired him.
Well, I don't know. It's a bit tricky, But Pastor Abioye has been there for a long while. In fact, if Pastor Abioye is speaking, you will not know that it's not Papa speaking. It is that bad,
Yeah.
It is speaker like he's been there for a while. So I don't know, maybe there's some politics going on the ground at back door, because like you said, Pastor Oyedepo is grooming his son to be the successor. But then Pastor Abioye is, if you just want to look at it, like logically, whatever, Pastor Abioye should be the successor because he has been with him for a long while. He has been there he knows the ropes, he does everything. You think it's Papa that is talking, So I guess maybe since he wanted his son to be the successor, the only way is to retire, Pastor Abioye.
That makes sense. But speaking of politics, because you mentioned something about politics, they made mention of something that there has been a political amendment that retirement age is no longer 60 years, but 55. Did you know at any point that pastors should have like a retirement age?
I didn't know that pastors have retirement age, because I know that foreign pastors, all those them Kenny Higgin, them Copeland, they were in their how old 80s and all that, and they were still preaching, and so I didn't know that there's retirement age. I only heard recently of TD Jakes, that he stepped down, and then I'm not even sure that he fully stepped down, because he had a medical emergency recently, so I don't, and that was while he was on the altar. Although I think he had been ill, then he now came back, and then something happened. But even at that, I heard that he had retired, but I'm not sure if it's a full retirement or not. And he is not. He's over 55 now.
Well, yeah.
So I don't know, except if it's a new thing that they just want to start it now. Maybe because of the funny business going on, so they want to put a rule to it that so as to safeguard, it will be a form of safeguard for the church or the owners of the church, or I don't know.
Safeguarding. So for this, I would like us to step out a bit and leave like Winners Chapel. I would like you to talk about you personally, what you think the politics of church are like. Have you ever encountered or noticed any political, or should I say, a system of politics in church personally? Do you think you've experienced any of which? Speak freely, please.
You say I should speak freely. It's me they will come for. It's not him. Well, I won't say. I may not be able to say in detail that this, that. But then I think I would have experienced some level of, because I served in the church for a long while, and as at one point in time I was even a church admin. So I saw a lot of stuff going on in church, things like
that you would not particularly agree with, right?
Yes, and I would not have thought that, because what really happens most of the time, and not just in church, with us generally as human beings, is that we have a we have this expectation that is so high. You know, we hold a lot of people in high expectations, expecting so much from people, especially these pastors and churches and all that, forgetting that they are human beings as well, you know. So they are prone to make mistakes and to fall and to, you know, like I always say to people that church is not for perfect people, it's for perfecting people. So it's not, so it's not people that are well that go to church. Just like it's not people that are well that go to hospital. Abi, it's people that are sick that go to hospital. It's funny.
Just for clarity's sake, she's not saying you're sick.
I didn't say you're sick, you know, but I'm just saying that, you know, the church is there for you to be better, know better, you know, and then get deeper with God and all that. Not that you are perfect, you know, but even the pastors themselves are not perfect. They are human beings, you know. So like, that's what I said. So we have a heightened expectation that, if you see your blah, 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 blah. This is not justifying some of the things that are going on. But I'm just saying that sometimes we need to look at it from that perspective that, these people are human beings as well. And then if I was in this position, what would I do? But to answer your question, yes, I've experienced some things and seen some things that I would have thought that, this should not be happening in the church. So at the end of the day, it makes you wonder that, okay, this church, is it just, is it really for the purpose of fellowshipping, or are there some other things involved, you know, like business, like, you know, I don't know.
Okay, makes sense. I would agree with her though on this one. So, you know, a lot of people have been, you know, there has been a lot of speculations that Pastor Abioye has been handling this very, you know, quietly, diligently, not having any bitterness towards Pastor Oyedepo. But would you think it's true after, you know, spending decades with it, doing what you know? And to me, I feel like when you are retired, you are being sacked. Me personally, the way he was retired.
I like the way you put it, that the way he was retired. Because if there was a rule from get-go that, okay, you're serving, and then yes, everybody serves 10 years, and after 10 years, you move on. Maybe we do a send forth for you, and we push you to, you know, we give you a parish to hold on to or to take care of, blah, blah, blah. Then, okay, you'll know that, okay, I only have 10 years here, and then you know that, okay, you're going to another level, or something else will be handed over to you. But he's been there a long while, and I don't think if he knew this, that okay, to come to this, or this is how the way, I guess he didn't even know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not in Winners Chapel. I was once a member, but you know, that's a long time ago, and I don't know how they do their thing. So, but then I don't think he was expecting this. And if he was expecting it, maybe not in the mud and all that. So if that's what he wants for the church, it's not a bad thing. It's just so, you know, they can involve everybody. So it's not like church is just for parents, grandparents, and stuff like that. So when you get to church, the young people find it boring because they will go to church and they'll be present for because they cannot relate. But when you have the younger pastors, and they are preaching things that relate to them, that they can connect with, and then programs that, you know, that are fun for them and all that, that's the only way you can get the attention of these people. So
interesting.
If for that reason, you know, but then that does not mean that they should retire people. They can still be there as elders, you know, because there's no how. Like there's a Nigerian proverb, Yoruba proverb that says that, you know, no matter the amount of clothes that a young person has, you cannot have the amount of rags that an older person will have. Yes. So no matter the new things that you think you have, there's still wisdom, old wisdom that you will need. So it has to be a mix, a balance of the two.
So we need the foresight of the older generation.
Exactly.
I understand that. Interesting stuff. So there is this pastor Inuebu. He's a colleague of yours. You know, you both left the church.
Because I was going to ask that, what do you mean by colleague?
Yeah, both of you left the church.
Yeah, I left since. So.
Well, he left since too as well.
Okay.
So he said, you know, he was seen by Pastor Oyedepo. And he wrote an article, and in an interview, he said, Pastor Oyedepo, or should I say Papa, because let's not look like you know, has faced a lot of challenges with pastors and all. And because
which is to be expected, yeah.
And because of this, he has trust issues. Like he finds it very hard to trust
I don't
people.
blame him.
So do you think that is why because this whole retirement thing didn't start in one day, or he didn't just think of it?
Exactly. So, you know, you said in the beginning that he's grooming his son to be the successor. But the way Pastor Abioye is like, Winners Chapel, Pastor Abioye, like after Oyedepo, is Pastor Abioye. So maybe he was already feeling threatened that way, because we've seen these things happen, in other denominations. We've seen it happen that somebody would just like want to just take over, what somebody else built or started with, and then just want to take over because of you've been there for a while, and then the people, like the followership, they know you. You know that there are some people that if they go to church, if they want to go to church and they see that this person is not going to be around, they won't go.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Exactly. So he has that followership,
So you
behind
believe that
him.
this has been a plot?
I didn't
because of
say
his
so. You are
trust
the one
issues?
that says so.
I'm not saying you said though, but I'm
You
not
know, so
saying.
it could be. It could be that the rate at which this thing is going on, let me curb it in the nib. But I don't know if it's not too late, because even as Pastor Abioye has left now, there's no how, except he doesn't want to start something. Because and I heard that he has even started something, there's no how that he will not carry some people
Well,
along.
we'll get to
It
that.
happens now.
We'll get to
it's
that.
a normal thing.
So about what you just said, the church has been divided into two. We have the Abioye boys, which are like the pastors under Abioye, and then we have the papa's boys. I didn't say Ikorodu boys, that was from her. But yeah, speaking of that, he has spent lengthy time in the church, so he has been able to like gather people.
Yes, now he has a firm grip.
So
there's no how.
There has been words or speculations that he has been getting monetary gifts, and when on his birthday he gets a lot of gifts, like tons of them.
Course.
And then other privileges that comes with him being a pastor. Do you think this is one of the reasons he's not happy retiring at such time? Because personally, I feel like once he retires, such privileges won't come as.
Yes, even if they come, they'll drop. So it could be, and then because of the way, like I said, the way he was retired, I don't know if he's still allowed to function in whatever capacity, if that were the case. Because really, I think the problem is that, the way with which he was retired, it's just a retirement, and then maybe he's not allowed. Although I'm also hearing that he's still in church. I don't know how true that is. People say he's still in church and all that. But his influence cannot just die like that now. So even if in the capacity that he was, of course, the title, they want to give him gifts and all that, he will still be getting, because he will have his own people now. He will have lives that
he does. He has
exactly.
The
he has lives that he has even impacted directly or indirectly in the church. So there's no how. He will still getting stuff like that. But then the privilege of the office that he was holding is what may dwindle.
So now I want to ask you this. Do you think it's because obviously Pastor Papa would know that
there are plenty papas now. All those people is Papa, they call their papas.
Bishop Oyedepo. For clarity's sake, Bishop.
We are talking about the Papa that is Bishop Oyedepo.
Yes, her once Papa. So yeah, do you think this, because of course he knew that this man has his own boys, because after a while he found out that this man is going to have his own followership.
So I may have been feeling threatened that something is going on here, that kind of thing, that let me wake up before it's too late, and then I wake up and I don't even know what the constitution is, and then I look and people are voting that we want. So
do you think it's a good thing to have like such constitution in like the church system?
What constitution?
Like making it how do I say? Because usually your pastors are being called by God. So now him training his son to become the next generation of pastorhood or pastorship. Do you think it should be a thing? Because if God called him, did God actually call his son?
Now we don't know. You see, that's where the
because that's the constitution for me.
Exactly. That's where the comma is now, because he started the church, so it is only normal
advisable.
For him.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Now succession. No. Yes, for succession. That this is my church, and then I want the succession to remain in my family, my lineage. So my son, and then my son's son, and then they'll be like.
That sounds like business to me.
Okay, now you call them that too.
No, like that's what to me, like I said.
But he's gone past the age of churches. I think they've gone past the era of
Being called by God.
Was like Samuel. I mean, who is that person that God called?
God called a lot of people.
No. When he was sleeping, I say, is it not Samuel? I think yes, it's Samuel now. I say Samuel that he was sleeping. I say, who is calling him? That he went to meet Eli. That somebody is calling him. That I said he went like 3 times. I said, if he calls you again, just answer and say, yes, Lord, I'm hearing or something. So we have passed that era.
So now
I'm not sure God
the system of church now is era. Like it moves from one era to another.
I don't think is the church, because even interestingly, you know that Pastor Oyedepo himself said that, I think in the story, like God called him or something. Maybe he was in one hotel room or something. I don't remember. That he was there for hours, maybe prayed for 18 hours or something funny, something like that. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not sure if such things still happen, So
okay.
It's just that you are born again, you go to Bible school, and then you enter pastor.
So anybody can be a pastor now, no calling.
As long as you are born again, and then you have fulfilled the the rights. You have your certificate, you go to Bible school, and you are born again, and you are nice. I don't know. So I don't think it's that one of And then of course they'll tell you to fast and this thing about it. Of course everybody will say they fast, and it's just like people in church now, that they will see a young lady and they say, go and meet pastor, that pastor, God has told me that that's my wife. I dreamt or I fasted and God said yes, even though we don't know if God said yes, but like that. So
I think that's a personal problem for them, because me, I would personally think, due to the power that this Abioye has, or Pastor Abioye has, and the influence in the church, if his successor, which is the son, should come on board, he will not be able to operate freely like he would like to, or he would, like David, which is
if he becomes successful.
Yes, if he comes on board, like, okay, now it's time for you to come on board, and Pastor Abioye is still on board.
Yes, now
he will not be able to operate freely.
Yeah, because
he's still in power. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Apart from that, Abioye may still have more hierarchy. Like people may still be more
listen to him
more than to So I don't know, but I feel like, so to make it clear for him, to give him to clear the path very well for him to succeed. So
he had to retire. Okay. Well, that's that for that. But of course, he didn't leave just like that. They gave him a very good parting gift, like the LFC Abuja building or housing was given to him as a parting gift that came with other.
They gave him house.
Yes, not like him per se, not like Papa, but like the people, his
Who are you talking about now?
The Abioye now. Yeah, he was the one that was resigned. I would not like to say retired.
So they gave him a house.
They gave him other. That as a parting gift, though.
You are not being... Why are you evading something? They gave him house.
Yes, LFC. And I believe LFC is a building, a house, a space.
Okay. With
other gifts accompanied with it. And although, the wife seemed to be okay with the situation, I wouldn't want to say she was happy about them, retiring her husband. Although she said, so she made a statement and she was like, it's good that they did that because he should have started his own church
exactly
a while back. So you would have agreed that he should have left, Winners Chapel to start his own.
Yes, if that was his vision. If he had that in mind, then I would have believed that he ought to have done that, because it's been very while.
So for the wife to have said what she said, that means she must have been telling him a while back.
Yes, that, you need to start your own, and, especially if they weren't sure how this was going to end, and it wasn't looking like, okay, maybe they will give him one parish to go and take over.
So you would agree that, the wife has been telling him this over time, that you know what?
Yeah, most likely now, because it's been there a while, like I said. And especially if they didn't know how this was going to turn out. He was just 777. Even this, how do Igbo people do it? When they bring somebody from the village, they will serve. At least that, okay, I'm serving for 10 years, or I'm serving for 20 years, and after these 20 years, you are giving me money to go and start my, that kind of thing. So I don't know what the arrangement was here, so...
Like you said, business, but this is not a business.
Okay, now you talk
I personally feel like he felt all the goodies was not going to end. aside him being a pastor, there are some side attractions that comes or benefits that comes with being a pastor. I'm not sure he oversaw that because he probably might have gotten used to the whole benefit.
But the irony of the matter is that there's no I mean, he has gone far, so he has amassed a lot of influence that cannot go down, even if he leaves Winners Chapel.
The good thing is,
so doors are already. There are some doors that are open to him that cannot be shut again, even though he's no longer within. He will still continue. He will continue to be Pastor Abioye. He has that influence, so plenty of doors will still be open to him. So except just this, like I said, the office, maybe the gifts and whatever privileges of that office is the only thing that may just not be there. But other things, no, I don't think.
So what's your take on him starting an online church? Because he personally has started his own, something small, like he called it. He said he's not going to start a church, which I don't personally believe. This is my personally belief.
A physical church.
Yes, he said he's not going to start his own physical church, but he has started something online.
It's his choice now. He may not want to start physical church. Well, everybody's online these days now.
Yes.
Online is ready.
But would you agree with the fact that he's starting something online after his retirement? Do you think it's a good idea?
No, well, it could be for him now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he's been there a while. He's been there Winners for a long while, so he knows the ropes. He knows all these things. So if he decides that it's online he wants to do, he knows why he's doing online. Except if he just wants to do it for a while and still go back. Except he's still going to go back to the physical. But if not, he knows why he's doing online, and he will know what he's doing at this point.
So you agree with it?
It's not for me to agree.
No, you're my guest. I need your opinion on this.
Hey, that's what it's still not for me. It's left to him. It's still not for me to agree. He must know what he's doing. If he decides that it's online, I want to do.
So you don't think he's doing this to spite the pastor?
No, spite. Why? I don't think there's a spite in there, because I'm going to say it again. He has been doing this for a while, so he probably does not have.
After being, retired.
Yes, he wants to keep, because at the end of the day, it's about the propagation of the gospel now. It's about.
So that's all he knows.
Exactly. So he wants to keep that, even though he's not inside Winners, but then the gospel has to move on now. So he wants to keep doing that. And if he has decided that he's online, he wants to do. And if tomorrow he decides he wants a physical church, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay. As you guys have seen and heard for yourself, it's okay for the younger pastors to supersede the older pastors, but we cannot do away with the older pastors, because although Pastor Abioye's, retirement form was not very nice, if you ask me, for my personal opinion, and hers too, because I'm sure she will agree with me. But here we are talking about what we know. You, as a Winners Chapel member, tell us what we didn't say or what we didn't know about your church. Let us know, engage us, because we only gave what we have. Is the container that Ibarra has that he used to beg. So we're begging you to tell us what we don't know, so we can, explain to the world what is really going on in Winners Chapel. So yes, I am very glad I brought my host, to the show, your pleasure coach, Tiwa says, the honorable, the nicest, sweetest, youngest 50th lady in town now. Thank you for coming on my show. Thank you for coming on. So, yes, we will bring this to a close now. Let us know what you think about the whole situation. And do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel if it's your first time. And like this video. Share this to those who are lost in the whole situation. This can be an eye-opener for them. So until next time, we'll see you guys. Bye for now.
Bye.